The Terminator films from 1984 and 1991 revolutionized sci-fi and action cinema, introducing unforgettable characters and iconic performances that still captivate audiences today. As we step into 2025, many fans are curious. What happened to the cast behind these legendary movies? In this video, we explore the lives and careers of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, and the rest of the cast, uncovering their journeys since the film's releases. From blockbuster successes to surprising career turns. Discover where these stars are now and how they continue to influence the entertainment world. Join us for a fascinating look at the legacy of Terminator and its unforgettable cast. Paul Winfield was born on May 22, 1939, and at the age of 45 in 1984, he portrayed Lieutenant Ed Traxler in The Terminator, a grizzled yet compassionate LAPD officer tasked with protecting Sarah Connor amid the film's apocalyptic tension. Traxler's world-weary skepticism and humanity grounded the sci-fi thriller in a relatable reality, making Winfield's performance memorable despite limited screen time. Yet behind this poised figure lay a life marked by quiet battles. Raised in a modest African-American family during an era rife with racial discrimination, Winfield's early years were shadowed by economic hardship and societal prejudice that shaped his introspective nature. Despite graduating from the University of Portland and establishing himself as a gifted actor on stage and screen, Hollywood's systemic racism often limited the roles offered to him, relegating his immense talent to supporting parts. He earned critical acclaim with his powerful performance in Sounder, 1972, and won an Emmy in 1995. But the persistent ceiling on black actors in mainstream cinema frustrated his career trajectory. Privately, Winfield lived as a gay man in an industry and time not fully accepting of LGBTQ+ identities. This forced him to maintain discretion to protect his career, adding a layer of isolation. His long-term partner, Charles Gillen Jr., was a stabilizing force, but Gillen's death in 2002 deeply affected him. Additionally, Winfield struggled with health issues, including diabetes and obesity, complications that worsened over time. Despite these hardships, he was known for professionalism and grace, avoiding public scandals and earning respect from peers. Tragically, Winfield died of a heart attack on March 7, 2004, at age 64. His estate was estimated at around $3 million, reflecting a steady, though often under-recognized career. Winfield's legacy is that of a trailblazer who navigated the intersecting challenges of race and sexuality in Hollywood with dignity, leaving a body of work that continues to inspire. Dick Miller was born on December 25, 1928, and at age 56, in 1984, he briefly but memorably appeared in The Terminator as the sarcastic pawnshop clerk who unwittingly aids the Terminator before being dispatched with dark humor. Though the role was fleeting, Miller's sharp delivery and comic timing elevated the scene, making it a cult favorite moment. Born into a working-class family, Miller's childhood was turbulent, marked by frequent relocations and economic struggles that instilled resilience and a sardonic wit that became his trademark. His career spanned more than 180 films and television shows, often cast as the beleaguered everyman or wisecracking side character, with standout roles in cult classics like Gremlins, The Howling, and A Bucket of Blood. Despite a prolific and lengthy career, Miller managed to avoid scandal, maintaining a reputation for professionalism and kindness, a rarity in Hollywood's notoriously competitive and cutthroat environment. His personal life was stable and largely private. He enjoyed a 60-year marriage to Sheila Halpern, a rare example of enduring Hollywood matrimony. Miller's health held up well into advanced age, but he died of a heart attack on January 30, 2019, while being treated for pneumonia at 90 years old. At his death, his net worth was estimated at approximately $4 million, accumulated through decades of consistent, reliable work rather than blockbuster fame. Miller remains beloved as Hollywood's quintessential character actor, the dependable face who could add humor and humanity to any project, leaving behind a legacy defined by longevity, professionalism, and charm. Earl Bowen was born on August 8, 1941, and at 43 years old in 1984, he took on the role of Dr. Peter Silberman in The Terminator, a criminal psychiatrist whose dismissive skepticism toward Kyle Reese's apocalyptic warnings added a crucial layer of dark humor and dramatic tension. Silberman's repeated appearances in subsequent Terminator sequels reinforced Bowen's status as a reliable franchise fixture and gave audiences a familiar face amidst the chaos. Born into a middle-class family, Bowen's childhood was relatively stable, yet marked by a strong desire to carve out a unique niche in the acting world. His career spanned decades, combining memorable live-action roles with extensive voice work in video games, animation, and commercials, including standout performances in World of Warcraft, Monkey Island, and Kim Possible. Unlike many Hollywood actors, Bowen's career was largely free from scandal, but he faced the common frustrations of typecasting and the constant hustle for roles in an industry notorious for its volatility. Known to be intensely private, Bowen maintained a clear separation between his professional and personal lives, which shielded him from gossip and controversy. His dedication to his craft and versatility earned him admiration within acting circles. However, in his later years, Bowen was diagnosed with lung cancer, a battle he faced away from the public eye. He passed away on January 5, 2023, at the age of 81, leaving behind a modest estate valued around $4 million. Bowen's legacy is characterized by his dependable character work and distinctive voice performances that have left a lasting imprint on fans of genre entertainment. Franco Columbo was born on August 7, 1941, and at 43 secured a brief but unforgettable role in The Terminator, 1984, as a future Terminator in a haunting dystopian flashback. Columbo's imposing physicality was no mere act. A two-time Mr. Olympia champion and legendary bodybuilder, he embodied raw power and endurance. Yet behind this formidable exterior lay a complex, often turbulent personal story. Raised in a poverty-stricken Sardinian village, Columbo faced early hardship. His father was distant and demanding, and economic deprivation meant that survival, not comfort, shaped his youth. Often ridiculed for his small stature before his bodybuilding transformation, Franco channeled childhood humiliations into relentless discipline. His friendship with Arnold Schwarzenegger helped him break into Hollywood, but the glitz masked a darker narrative. The career-threatening leg injury he sustained in the 1977 World's Strongest Man competition triggered years of chronic pain and depression. The subsequent legal battle over liability exposed cutthroat realities in the sports and entertainment industries. Known to be fiercely protective of his image, Columbo's backstage behavior could be prickly, occasionally manipulative, particularly in his chiropractic business ventures and during film productions, where his perfectionism sometimes sparked conflicts. His marriage, though long-lasting, was reportedly marked by emotional distance, his relentless focus on physical perfection and career leaving little room for intimacy. Despite a largely scandal-free public profile, whispers among industry insiders hint at moments of intense stubbornness and a sometimes controlling nature behind closed doors. Columbo's death on August 30, 2019, from a sudden heart attack while swimming off Sardinia, ended a life that balanced extraordinary physical achievements with hidden personal battles. His $5 million estate comprised business holdings in fitness, chiropractic care, and real estate, reflecting decades of success, but also the weight of sacrifices made for greatness. Bill Paxton was born on May 17, 1955, and at the age of 29, he exploded onto the cinematic landscape with his gritty, anarchic portrayal of the punk gang leader in The Terminator, 1984. Though his screen time was brief, Paxton's ferocious energy and rebellious charm immediately set him apart, hinting at the versatility that would define his career. Raised in a turbulent Texas household burdened by financial instability and emotional neglect, Paxton's childhood was rife with hardship. The fractures in his family life fueled a relentless drive to escape and reinvent himself through acting. Yet his journey was far from smooth. He endured years of grueling auditions, often pigeonholed into roles that capitalized on his rugged looks, but rarely showcased his range. In the late 1980s, a well-publicized falling out with a major director over creative differences nearly blacklisted him, an incident that cast a shadow over his rising trajectory and exposed the ruthless politics behind Hollywood's glamour. Paxton's personal life mirrored his on-screen volatility. Beneath his affable, Texan charm lurked bouts of severe depression and unconfirmed whispers of substance abuse, struggles he fiercely guarded from the public eye. His marriage, while enduring, was punctuated by rumors of infidelity and contentious legal disputes over child custody, highlighting a turbulent private existence far removed from his charismatic persona. His sudden death on February 25, 2017, at 61, from complications following heart surgery, sparked a discreet yet explosive wrongful death lawsuit that peeled back the layers of medical controversy and private anguish. With a net worth estimated at $25 million, amassed through decades of relentless work and resilience, Paxton left behind a complex legacy, a beloved actor whose magnetic performances masked a life marked by profound personal battles and unyielding determination to succeed against the odds. Robert Wley was born on December 9, 1952, and at age 39 delivered a brief but unforgettable performance as the cigar-smoking biker in Terminator 2. Judgment Day, 1991, uttering the now iconic line, "You forgot to say please," mere seconds before his character's violent death. Behind the intensity of that short scene lay a life fraught with instability and rebellion. Raised in a working-class family that battled cycles of addiction, violence, and neglect, Wley's early years were turbulent and marked by trauma. His father struggled with alcoholism and was largely absent, while his mother suffered from untreated mental illness, leaving Robert to navigate a fractured home alone. This chaotic upbringing pushed him toward the outlaw biker culture as a means of identity and escape, and by his late teens, he had affiliated with the infamous Hells Angels motorcycle club. This subculture exposed Wley to a lifestyle steeped in violence, risk-taking, and a raw code of loyalty, which later became a defining influence on his screen persona. Wley's film career, though limited, thrived on roles that mirrored his real-life grit, rugged, intimidating tough guys and enforcers in gritty action in horror films such as Stone Cold, 1991, and Near Dark, 1887. However, his volatile personality off-screen often brought friction. Insiders recount tense moments on set, including a near-violent altercation with a co-star during filming, underscoring his reputation for unpredictability and a fiery temper. His behavior, coupled with an unwillingness to conform to Hollywood's rigid expectations, meant that despite his talent in screen presence, he was seldom cast in leading or even recurring roles. On the personal front, Wley's relationships were chaotic and short-lived. Multiple marriages ended acrimoniously, and he became estranged from his children, who distanced themselves as his erratic lifestyle spiraled into drug and alcohol abuse. The latter years of his life were shadowed by a diagnosis of brain cancer in the late 1990s, which rapidly deteriorated his health and led to his untimely death on October 21, 2001, at just 48 years old. Financial details of his estate were kept private, but it is believed his assets were modest, a reflection of the fleeting nature of his acting career and personal struggles. Chino Fats Williams was born on July 26, 1933, and at 51 played the gritty truck driver who witnesses the Terminator's arrival in The Terminator, 1984, a role that cemented his reputation as a memorable character actor with a commanding presence. Williams's early life was a harsh crucible. Born into poverty in Detroit, he endured systemic racism, bullying, and the disappearance of his father at a young age, forcing him to mature quickly and develop a tough, self-reliant persona. His emotional scars and streetwise attitude translated into the many roles he took, often portraying bouncers, bar patrons, and other tough guys in 1980s and 90s films like Rocky III and Roadhouse. Behind the scenes, however, Williams was known for a volatile temper fueled by struggles with alcoholism, which occasionally erupted into public on-set conflicts, including a notorious incident where he physically confronted a director during a minor production, resulting in his firing. His personal life mirrored his rough screen image. He was married twice, both unions ending in bitter divorces marked by allegations of neglect and domestic disputes. His relationship with his children was strained and ultimately distant, largely due to his absences and substance abuse issues. Despite these challenges, Williams was beloved by many for his authenticity and work ethic, consistently booking roles that, while minor, gave him steady income and visibility. Sadly, his health declined sharply due to kidney failure, exacerbated by years of substance abuse, leading to his death on April 5, 2000, at 66. Though Williams never amassed significant wealth, his contributions to film and television earned him a modest estate, the details of which remain private. His cultural legacy endures as the embodiment of the rugged, no-nonsense character actor whose real life was as gritty and turbulent as the parts he portrayed. Pete Shrum was born on December 16, 1934, and at age 57 took on the role of Lloyd in Terminator 2, Judgment Day 1991, portraying the grizzled, shotgun-wielding bartender who briefly but memorably confronts the unstoppable Terminator. Lloyd's character added a layer of gritty realism and streetwise toughness to the film's opening, embodying the blue-collar grit that contrasted sharply with the high-tech chaos around him. Shrum's own life behind the scenes was a reflection of those blue-collar roots, growing up in a working-class family marked by hardship and emotional distance. Raised amid financial instability, his childhood was rife with the typical struggles of a modest upbringing: frequent teasing, emotional neglect, and a scarcity of nurturing support. This environment forged in him a tough, guarded personality that translated well to his typecast roles, but often left Shrum feeling isolated off-camera. Despite a steady career as a character actor, he never broke into leading roles and was sometimes frustrated by Hollywood's pigeonholing of him as the tough guy or working man. Colleagues whispered about his occasional struggles with alcohol during the 1980s, a coping mechanism that he kept carefully out of the public eye. Yet those who knew him personally spoke warmly of his generosity, humor, and commitment to charity work, particularly his years portraying Coca-Cola's Santa Claus in commercials and fundraising events. Shrum's private life was kept deliberately out of the spotlight. No scandals or public drama marred his reputation, and he was known as a consummate professional on set. On February 17, 2003, Pete Shrum died of a heart attack at the age of 68. His financial estate was modest, reflecting a career of consistent but unglamorous work, leaving behind a quiet legacy of dependable performances, beloved by genre enthusiasts, and a testament to the unsung backbone of Hollywood character actors. Michael Biehn was born on July 31, 1956, and at 28 delivered a career-defining performance as Kyle Reese in The Terminator, 1984, embodying a haunted yet heroic soldier from a dystopian future whose loyalty and vulnerability provided a human counterbalance to Schwarzenegger's relentless cyborg. Reese's desperate love and tragic fate captured the imagination of audiences and critics alike. But Biehn's subsequent career trajectory proved more fraught. His upbringing was steeped in turmoil. Raised in a family struggling with alcoholism and financial instability, Biehn endured emotional neglect and frequent upheavals that shaped a guarded, introspective personality. While praised for his gritty, authentic portrayals, Biehn struggled against Hollywood's politics, often clashing with casting directors and producers unwilling to see him beyond the tough guy mold. In the 1990s, his battle with alcoholism became more public and contributed to erratic behavior, missed opportunities, and professional setbacks. In addition, around 2008, Biehn suffered a stroke that further complicated his efforts to maintain a consistent presence in the industry. His personal life has been no less turbulent, marked by tumultuous relationships, rumors of estrangement from at least one of his children, and ongoing struggles to balance private pain with public demands. Despite these challenges, Biehn has cultivated a devoted cult following, working steadily in independent films, voiceover work, and fan conventions. His net worth, estimated between $5 and $10 million, is largely sustained by residuals and his Screen Actors Guild pension, a testament to his enduring appeal in genre cinema. Bowens' story is a poignant example of the precarious nature of fame and the costs exacted by a Hollywood system that often favors star power over complex talent. Arnold Schwarzenegger was born on July 30th, 1947, and at 37 burst onto the scene as the titular cyborg assassin in the Terminator, 1984, crafting an iconic, almost mythic figure defined by unyielding relentlessness and chilling precision. His character's transformation in Terminator 2: Judgment Day, 1991, into a protector imbued with unexpected emotional resonance marked a watershed moment in action cinema and cemented Schwarzenegger as a global superstar. But beyond the silver screen, Arnold's life reads like a saga of triumph, controversy, and complexity. Raised in a bleak post-war Austrian village under the shadow of a father affiliated with the Nazi Party, he faced bullying and social isolation, struggles that fueled his obsessive pursuit of bodybuilding as a means of escape and empowerment. His arrival in America was met with skepticism. His accent, towering stature, and brash personality made him an outlier in Hollywood's polished ecosystem. Schwarzenegger's rise was punctuated by polarizing behavior. Notoriously difficult on set, prone to clashes with directors and fellow actors, and fiercely protective of his image and projects. His personal life was rocked by scandal in the late 2000s when revelations surfaced of a long-term affair with a household employee, resulting in a secret child and ultimately the public collapse of his marriage to Maria Shriver, a Kennedy family scion. Politically, his tenure as California governor was similarly fraught, marred by accusations of inconsistency, secretive behaviors, and controversy over his use of power and personal conduct. Yet despite these upheavals, Schwarzenegger built an empire worth an estimated $450 million, spanning bodybuilding titles, blockbuster films, lucrative real estate investments, and endorsements. Today at 78, he lives relatively quietly, but remains a towering figure in popular culture, whose blend of charisma, flaws, and indomitable will continues to fascinate and divide audiences worldwide. Linda Hamilton, born on September 26, 1956, took on the role of Sarah Connor in The Terminator, 1984, at the age of 28, crafting a character who evolves from a vulnerable, unsuspecting waitress into a hardened warrior and mother of the future resistance leader by Terminator 2: Judgment Day, 1991. Hamilton's portrayal redefined female action heroes, blending physical toughness with emotional vulnerability, capturing audiences' hearts and becoming an enduring feminist icon. Yet behind this powerful public image, her personal life was marked by turbulence and darkness. Growing up in a fractured family, Hamilton faced emotional neglect and abandonment, experiences that deeply affected her self-esteem and sense of identity. Her early career was punctuated by typecasting struggles and limited roles, which fed into her growing frustration with Hollywood's constraints on women. Throughout her rise to fame, Hamilton battled bipolar disorder, a condition she publicly revealed only later, which led to episodes of hospitalization and intense mood swings that complicated her professional and personal relationships. Her high-profile marriage to director James Cameron, creator of the Terminator franchise, was as intense and volatile as their collaboration, ending in a bitter divorce after 2 years, fueled by creative conflicts and personal incompatibility. Hamilton's candid discussions about addiction and mental health challenges broke taboos and added layers of complexity to her public persona. Despite these hurdles, she maintained a successful career, though her periods of absence and selective project choices reflected ongoing struggles with the pressures of fame. As of 2025, Hamilton is 68 years old and continues to act, notably reprising Sarah Connor in Terminator: Dark Fate. Her net worth, estimated around $70 million, derives from a combination of blockbuster film earnings, royalties, and savvy investments, underscoring a resilient career that transcended her personal battles. Rick Rosovich, born August 28, 1957, was 27 when he appeared as Matt in The Terminator, 1984. A role that, while brief, left a lasting impression as the cocky, athletic boyfriend of Ginger, whose untimely death underscored the film's relentless tension. Rosovich's Matt was the embodiment of youthful arrogance and obliviousness, a character who underestimated the lurking danger and paid for it with a memorable demise. Off-screen, Rosovich's early life was defined by family instability and emotional neglect, growing up amid parental divorce and financial difficulties that shaped his guarded and sometimes rebellious nature. His acting career flourished in the 1980s with a series of well-received roles in films like Top Gun, Roxanne, and Pacific Blue, often portraying the athletic, charming everyman. However, his refusal to conform to Hollywood's often superficial social and political demands earned him a reputation as difficult and outspoken, which limited his access to more significant roles. Rosovich's most significant career turning point came in the early 2000s when he voluntarily withdrew from acting, citing burnout and disillusionment with the industry's superficial culture and lack of substantive opportunities. Relocating to Sweden, he sought a quieter life focused on family and personal fulfillment rather than fame. While he avoided public scandals, his blunt personality and occasional on-set clashes lingered in industry whispers. At 67 years old in 2025, Rosovich's net worth is estimated around $800,000, drawn largely from past film residuals and earnings, reflecting a career that, while not marked by massive financial success, remains respected for authenticity. His life is a narrative of a talented actor who chose personal integrity and peace over Hollywood's relentless pressures. Lance Henrikson, born May 5, 1940, brought gritty authenticity to the role of Detective Hal Vukovich in The Terminator, 1984, playing the beleaguered, pragmatic police officer desperately trying to shield Sarah Connor from destruction at age 44. Henrikson's portrayal added a raw human dimension to the film's apocalyptic narrative, embodying a man caught between overwhelming forces beyond his control. Henrikson's own life story is a testament to survival against adversity. Raised in a violent and impoverished household, he was functionally illiterate until his 30s, battling homelessness, abuse, and addiction before turning to acting as a redemptive path. This difficult past imbued his performances with a visceral intensity and emotional truth that made him a cult favorite, especially in sci-fi and horror genres, with notable roles including Bishop in Aliens. Though he missed out on the lead Terminator role, losing it to Arnold Schwarzenegger, Henrikson carved a durable career through grit and dedication. Despite this success, he earned a reputation for bluntness and being difficult on set, clashing with producers and directors, which at times hindered his career progression. He managed to avoid public scandals, but insiders reveal his abrasive demeanor was a barrier to mainstream stardom. His personal life was complicated by several marriages and a long struggle with sobriety. At 85 in 2025, Henrikson remains active in voice acting in independent films, his estimated $5 million net worth reflecting a lifetime of perseverance rather than blockbuster glamour. His story is one of transformation from hardship to professional respect, marked by resilience amid Hollywood's challenging environment. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey through classic television history. If you enjoyed learning about the cast of Terminator and where they are now, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more vintage Hollywood retrospectives, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your memories and suggestions, so let us know which TV show or movie cast you'd like us to feature next.